My 18-year-old self was so desperate for success that he made an alter ego and built an audience around that. A few years later, I'm realizing that all these people are following me for a personality that's not truly mine.
15 years ago, being an astronaut was the most sought-after job by students in grade school. Today's kids dream of being YouTubers. Content creators are like modern-day astronauts exploring the digital space, and I'm not sure how good that is for our brains. With a constant influx of likes, comments, and opinions being smashed into our brains every day, it makes you wonder how social media impacts the mental health of the creators that use their platform. Now, this is a video I've tried recording 3 times.
And maybe this video sucks, dude. And that's what I'm always wrestling with, like, should I even be putting this out? Is my content good enough? Am I entertaining enough? And every time I rewatch myself talking about mental health, I cringe. It's embarrassing.
It's weird because I have no problem talking about it usually. Anyone who personally knows me has probably heard me talk about it way more than they'd like to, but YouTube is an idealized version of ourselves. You only see the most exciting parts. And sometimes I'm so downtrodden and riddled with anxiety, but you guys don't ever see that because it doesn't fit the narrative of this exciting man on the street Brandon that's always traveling around being fun. In other words, I don't think it'll entertain you. I know for a fact nobody wants to be around depressed, miserable people, especially if you live the life of a YouTuber. That's why I've pretty much hidden that side of me from my channel. But I feel like not talking about it while having to live up to this standard of entertainment that I've set every week is making it worse. YouTube causes me so much more anxiety than I ever thought it would. Most nights I go to bed anxiously obsessing over my video and my channel's performance, and when I wake up in the morning it's like I've been smashed with the exact same wave of panic, and it's pretty much all attributed to YouTube. I feel like I'm becoming unable to relax. I've posted a video every week on this channel for 78 weeks without missing one, and that has pretty much been driven solely by fear. I'm scared that if I take a break from YouTube for even a week, it could ruin my channel. The algorithm won't promote me. You guys will forget about my content and it'll all be over for me. I'm so scared of failing on YouTube that it makes me want to quit and go get a 9-to-5 to speed up the inevitable. It's been like that for me since the beginning, pretty much. I feel like I'm gonna fail or everything is gonna be taken from me because there is no job security as a YouTuber. Success on social media is driven by algorithms and people's opinions. If you guys don't like my new video, you might not watch the next one, and then views will start to drop and the algorithm won't promote me, and next thing you know, I have 80,000 subscribers and I can't pull 10K views a video. Every time I upload, I'm wondering, is this going to be the video that's going to blow me up, or is this going to be the one that loses my audience interest and begins my rapid descent towards becoming a broke failure of a YouTuber that has to enter back into the workplace with my tail between my legs? In my brain, I'm on the cusp of blowing up and falling off every Thursday. And I've built it up so much in my head that I feel like I have all this unnecessary pressure on me. I've read cognitive behavioral therapy books that say all or nothing thinking is bad, but I can't stop doing it. Not only that, but factors outside of my control are always weighing on me. About 30% of my videos are demonetized, meaning I might spend $1,000 to fly to Austin, Texas and film a video in a suit of armor, but I might not see $1 for it.
Even this video that has seemingly nothing inappropriate in it got demonetized 3 times and forced me to stay up all night until I could finally get it monetized.
And it's not just YouTube. I've had a bunch of Instagram and TikTok videos deleted for violating terms of service, but I never really understand what their terms of service really are. There seems to be no rhyme or reason. Just 2 weeks ago, my entire Instagram was deleted for virtually no reason, and there's zero customer support to help me regain my account. So a massive part of my business that took me years to build has been ripped away from me, and the only reason I'm given is that my account was impersonating Brandon Buckingham. It makes no sense, and of course it makes me feel insecure when one of my main methods of communicating with you guys is taken out from under me in the blink of an eye. Plus, I've had 2 entire TikTok accounts deleted, and I'm sure many of you will remember when some asshole unjustly copyright struck my YouTube channel 3 times, locking me out of my account as it pended deletion. I say all of this not to complain, but to illustrate the lack of security that comes with being a YouTuber. And I don't want to come off like I'm weak or ungrateful. Every job has its ups and downs, and I know that. I'm just sharing you my perspective. I've been doing this for a while now, and I still don't understand the algorithm, how to gain subscribers, how to gain views. I don't even really know which videos my audience are going to like. Success on social media barely makes any sense to me. And I hate when YouTubers say, just make good shit and you'll blow up. It's not that simple at all. Or maybe it is and I just suck. I mean, I really don't know. Either way, in 2021, Americans set record numbers for cases of anxiety and depression. Most of this seems to be attributed to the consumption of social media and the unhealthy comparisons that come with it. But how does social media affect the content creators that use their platforms? I knew I couldn't be the only creator struggling with these things, so I flew from Maryland out to Los Angeles to talk to some of my content creator friends about how social media impacts their mental health. And what I found out is whether they had 20,000 subscribers or 3 million, a lot of their mental health struggles remained the exact same. Steezy Kane, Ricky, Reckless Ben, Mopey, Blake Rosier, Sir Spence, Sunhat Kid, and Yay Slacks all took time out of their day to sit down with me and talk about this topic. So thank you all for being a part of this video. And to the viewers out there, I hope you know if you're struggling with anxiety and depression, you aren't alone, and it isn't something you should feel ashamed to talk about. I mean, it's easier said than done, I know. I feel kind of ashamed talking about it, but everyone you look up to and idolize on the internet is going through some bullshit just like you are.
We're all universally connected through our experience of pain, and that's what makes us human.
Does depression and anxiety affect your life?
Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah, I would say there's times where I'm depressed, and there's definitely times where I have a lot of anxiety, mostly before I film.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, everyone deals with anxiety sometimes. Like,
I take Prozac for depression and anxiety.
I will say I do suffer from both of those.
I do. It comes in waves.
I suffer from terrible anxiety.
How does social media affect your mental health?
You kind of build an audience on YouTube or Instagram or whatever you do, and this audience wants to see you do something that maybe you don't want to do. Maybe one of your popular series that you did 2 years ago is still something that people want, but you grew out of it, or you matured or something. So it's like you kind of have to do something, or else you'll like fall off or whatever. So you got to kind of be this person that you were 2 years ago.
I have a pretty monotone voice. I'm usually pretty low energy. I don't get super hyped up and stuff like that. And there was a time where I felt like I had to partake in that. That created a lot of stress, thinking do I need to change my personality to really make it on YouTube? Is just the real me entertaining enough, or do I got to put on a little bit of that fake personality?
Sometimes, or at least when I first started, I used to always compare my channel and my numbers to somebody else's numbers and shit like that. And I used to think damn, when they started YouTube, they were at this point 2 months in. I'm only at this point, I'm doing something wrong. They're better than me or some shit like that, right? When really it's not like that. It's just
I feel like comparison is the enemy of happiness.
Comparison is the enemy of contentment. So yeah, there's no way that you're gonna be satisfied with what you got when you're never looking at what you got. I can't appreciate my fucking house if the whole time I'm looking out the window looking at my neighbor's house.
Social media is kind of like this fake world you live in, I feel like, once you're involved in the scene. And it's hard to separate it from the real world and separate friends, online friends, real friends. It's just two different worlds.
I think people see someone like David Dobrik and they go, damn, that's just a little snippet of the rest of his perfect life. And it's no, this guy's working his ass off to show you fun. The guy who made Hershey's Kisses is not living a Hershey's Kisses life 24/7, you know what I mean? So when people live stream or when they make videos, they're giving you an experience, and that's not a bad thing that they're not that person at all times,
Constantly having to worry about likes, constantly having to worry about how well you're doing, and this is this is your life, this is your job, and so having to worry about that stuff definitely takes a toll on people.
It can make me feel so good and so bad, and it can change in seconds. Specifically the YouTube creator app is probably it's probably the most anxiety filled application, way worse than TikTok or Instagram or anything combined. I'll open up the YouTube creator app after I've posted a video that I think is going to be the one that sets me off and gets me the recognition I feel like I deserve, and it's another 10 of 10, and I'm what the fuck, dude?
Views are down, watch time down. Your audience does not seem to be very interested in this video, Blake. What's wrong with you?
Oh my god.
Uh-oh, it looks like people aren't fucking with you right now. Your viewers are down by 33%. Better luck next time.
You're not making as much money. People don't care as much. How do you feel about the YouTube Studio app?
It's bad. It's bad to check.
I looked at that so many times today, seeing how my, you can see from 1 to 10 how your video does. My video,
yeah,
my video is a 7. When I see that, I'm people don't like my video. Oh, I think, what I do wrong? Did I thumbnail title? Is it, the video itself? The people don't like, fans don't like me anymore? That's how I think,
Yeah, it's so fucking frustrating. I hate opening it up and seeing just failure. And it's what is going to change this? Because that's the thing too. It's it's comparing to your last 10 videos. So if your last 10 videos have been 10 of 10s, and you're getting a 10 of 10 out of those 10 videos, then you're doing worse than you've ever done on your channel. So what's the point of even continuing it? I say all this with a smile, but it fucking sucks. And it makes me think, I mean, we were just saying this off camera, like, why am I doing this? Like, what's the point of, like, doing this?
I think it's, like, definitely affected me where I've gotten obsessive over, like, oh, is every video doing progressively better than the last? And it's like, progress isn't linear. It's never going to be that way. And if you let that like really fuck with you and you are emotional about it instead of being professional about it and like going about it a healthy way, then it's going to fuck you up. And it has fucked me up. Like I was saying earlier, I had a video do really good. It was like my number 1 out of 10. And then the next video was 9 out of 10. And I uploaded one time the month after that because I was so fucked up and distraught. Like it was the end of the world. Because people think like when you reach a certain level in social media that you're just there and you're concreted and you're good now. You're in this sort of like hall of fame for your size that you are or whatever. And now you're going to be chilling. It's like, no, like you're keeping the ball up in the air. You know what I mean? You're trying to swim, keep your head above water.
And I think as a content creator, I have like a lot of anxious energy wrapped up in posting once a week, and my money's tied up into the performance of that video, and my self-worth and my success. You know, it's like your job, your money, and your personal identity is wrapped up into your YouTube channel and how that video does every week.
It is cool to see when the bar is higher than usual though, and it says like, oh, your viewers are up by 55%. That feels good, but it doesn't feel as bad as the bad feels.
Isn't it crazy that the bad feels worse than the good feels good?
Yeah, that's how the brain works. Like if you go out and people are giving you weird looks and stuff, or like weird shoulder, like, but you have like 5 people come up and compliment your shoes, you're going to completely ignore those compliments when you come back home. You're only going to remember like the small shit, the small bad shit.
And that shit is really magnified with like YouTube comments and DMs and hate mail and stuff like that. Because you can read 100 comments about, Steezy, you're the best ever, I love you so much. And then someone says, man, this shit is really whack, like you're falling off.
And you only remember that one hate comment. It's weird.
I'll never forget this one. It's literally ingrained in my mind forever. You got fat and you're not funny. Or not funny and you got fat. It's so simple. Not funny and you got fat. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of beautiful comments, the nicest things ever, and I still remember not funny and you got fat. But yeah, a comment can wreck the hell out of me for a while.
Before you started YouTube, did you think you'd be happier at this point in your career at over 200,000 subscribers?
Yes.
I did think I'd be happier at this point. Like when I was at 100K, I thought like, yeah, it was the world to hit 1 million. Like that's such an insane accomplishment. And now that I hit it, I wish it meant more. You know, I put in the work over the years, but it fades out. Like I forget how much work was put in and the tough times, and I'm just kind of here now without fully being able to appreciate the time that I got here. I don't know why.
I think I am as happy as I thought I was going to be. Like 100,000 subscribers wasn't really a big goal for me. What's more of a goal is like I was able to break into Scientology. Like that's something I'm proud of. For like I was able to almost win a reality TV show with a fake backstory and no one caught me. Like that's hilarious to me. And then they tried suing me and I was able to like get them to cancel the lawsuit just because I got the internet to like cancel them, and like that was all because of like videos I made.
Yeah, of course. You picture this like mountain summit with you like celebrating on it forever, and then you feel guilty that you don't feel that good, like something's wrong with you or like you don't deserve it or something.
Why can't I be more appreciative?
Yeah, exactly. I think I cured that fear of not being grateful or appreciative by like literally focusing on what I'm grateful for like every single night. And if I stop doing it, I'll notice it because I'll become less happy. And if you just look at shit like it's like a fucking little beautiful little gift that somebody gave you, even like the chair in your kitchen, then like your perspective will change, and you'll realize it's like dying. Like if you get to a point where like, okay, now you're done, it's all complete, now you're happy forever, that doesn't make sense. Like that's like death. You need to be able to enjoy all the little changes that you can make happen, and that is going to happen in your life no matter what you do.
Yeah, no, I thought once I hit 1 million subscribers, everything's going to be perfect. Everything's going to be exactly how I wanted it. But like we were just talking about the other night, like the brain is a problem-solving machine. So no matter how perfect you have it, the brain is always going to focus on some other problem. You have $100 million tomorrow, and then you're going to realize, oh shit, I don't have any friends. And then you're going to go out and try to make friends, and then you're going to have all these friends, and then the brain's going to go like, I don't think I can trust these friends. And no matter how how good you have it, no matter if you get what you've always wanted, you're always going to have a problem. But I think true happiness is just coming to acceptance with that. I think there's a way to kind of get into the mindset of like, this is enough. Yeah, like to think, I just want 100,000 views per video and like that's fine to me. I don't want anything more than that. If I can sustain that and like have that for a while, that would be cool. But a lot of people don't think like that.
How does it feel to have so many people out there think you live the dream and then wrestle with some feelings of depression and anxiety on the inside at times?
When you interact with people in real life, they just think, oh shit, like this nigga is just a ball of happiness and joy, and everything I see on the internet is just like, he's so happy and I'm with him right now. And it's really not like that, bro. It's like, I'm sure you got the same problems, if not more, now that you do social media than when you started. It's like now, at least when I was before social media, I could hang out with some people and know that they're not using me for shit, or like they actually like me type shit. Now you gotta kind of always be looking over your shoulders and shit like that, and it's only gonna get worse. Like we're not at the pinnacle, we're not at the peak yet. Like it's only gonna get worse.
I remember back, like I felt that way about a lot of people, and then you kind of meet your heroes, like so to speak, and I think the instinct is to be disappointed maybe if you find out they're a regular person, but in a way it's a relief. You know, everybody that does this shit started as a quote unquote regular person, and they just did a certain series of steps. That's it. I did a certain series of steps. That's the difference between me and someone who's still a waiter.
Everyone thinks I'm living the dream and doing all this and that, and I wish I could talk about how it really is, but it's hard to talk about that stuff on YouTube. And this video is a great example about talking about the stuff that isn't talked about and kind of showing how it really is. Yes, a lot of people idolize the YouTuber lifestyle, but behind the camera, it's not as cool as it seems.
What are some things that help your mental health?
I guess just like real shit, like stuff that don't have to do with social media. Like me being with my friends and my family.
Meditation, dude. That's number one. It sounds cheesy, but your brain is a muscle. You go to the gym. Meditating is just working out for your brain. Number two, working out your other muscles. Work out every day. The next one, I would say community.
Being with like good friends that I've known for like 5 years plus, almost 10 years. Like that's some good reliable like stuff to get away from whatever bullshit's going on.
Not looking at analytics. Not going to YouTube Studio and seeing like what videos are performing poorly, or even just doing what I want to do. And I learned a very valuable lesson. Like when I was 18, I was very desperate for success, so I would do all these prank immature videos, but that wasn't truly me. And now that I realize that being true to yourself and having less of an audience follow you for who you really are is way better than having people follow you for somebody you're not.
What really makes me happy, dude, I'll be honest with you, is right now. This is probably the most happy I've been in a long time in social media. Like being around a lot of YouTubers. Like YouTubers that lift me up. That don't bring me down.
Also treating myself, just doing stuff that I know makes me feel good, like getting massages. I try and get massages like at least once a month.
You ever get beat off?
No, I actually have never been beat off. One time, masseuse flicked my wiener. And I think that was insinuating like, hey, this flick that hurt you, do you want it to be touched? Take
breaks, measure how much you work. Because if you're like, all right, this week, I don't know how much I worked. It seemed like I worked on this thing all day, blah, blah, blah. If that's abstract to you, you won't know if you should take a break or not. So I'm like, oh, today I literally, for sure, worked 8 hours. That's enough. Like, let that be enough, and just do that 5 days a week, take the other 2 days off, and that'll help your mental health a lot, because you don't want to be ambiguous with yourself on when you're working and when you're not, because you get confused, and you start to, like, underappreciate how much you're doing, or overappreciate how much you're doing, and not realize how distracted you are, and you just need to be able to quantify everything that you're doing. You need to be able to look at your own behavior, so that you can actually change what needs to be changed, so you can feel better when you feel like shit.
What's some advice for anyone out there that might be watching that's struggling with their mental health?
My only advice really is don't give a fuck. Like if you're on social media and you see everybody's getting fucking, these bitches are hanging out with these niggas on yachts and shit like that and all this shit, just fuck that. Like, I don't give a fuck. Okay, cool for them type shit. It's easier said than done, right? But I feel like the more you do it, the more you kind of train your brain to not give a fuck about status or about like fitting in with what's online and shit like that. Like, I've really learned to genuinely not give a fuck, bro.
Just be yourself. Even if you're doing something that you wouldn't normally make, like some type of content, because sometimes you have to do that in order to gain an audience. Do it your own way. Put a twist on it. Make it fun for you. Because having fun is real success. You can be rich, you can get all these views, but if you're not having fun, you're going to burn out. You're going to. So just have fun. Be yourself.
Biggest thing, knowing you're not alone. Because I feel like a lot of times it feels like I'm the only person feeling this way. Depression makes you feel like I should be alone right now. I should not do anything. I shouldn't see any of my friends. Whenever you're feeling those depressed states and you're getting that voice in your head saying, don't see your friends, do the opposite. See your friends, surround yourself with people, do everything that your brain's telling you not to do, because that's depression trying to keep you down.
Like negative emotions are a call to action.
Yeah, for real. It's literally like, oh, my depression's telling me like not to shower right now. I'm gonna get up and shower right now, because that's like combating that like monster in your head that's telling you not to.
Realize that like optimism and confidence never fail to help. They will help any situation every single time, no matter what.
My advice is to be open with your family first. You know, I was going through some really rough times and I didn't tell my family about it. And the thought process behind not telling them was, oh, I don't want my mom to worry about me, so I'm not going to tell her what I'm doing and what's going on in my life. That's not how it should be. Your family you should not be keeping that stuff away from them in fear that they're going to worry about you. The right thing to do is just tell your family. And if you're unlucky and your family's not really there for you, then closest friend, because you got someone. You got at least one person. Make online friends too. Shit, if you go in a Twitch chat and just like and involve yourself in a cool community, like you'll have some common things with a lot of those people, and like that's a really cool community that you could be a part of. You just got to find it.
Advice to people, what I usually say to people, my fans, is just don't give up. And it's like I know it's the simplest thing, but it's like, don't give up. If you're dealing with mental health issues, don't give up on that. You know, you don't let your mental health issues hold you back, because I've been dealing with OCD, anxiety my whole life, but if I would have sat inside, you know, at home, you know, I've been safe and sound, right? But it's like, but then I can't go out and enjoy life and, you know, aim for what I want to be. So I encourage a lot of kids to don't give up.
The advice is that you're not going through it alone, and it's okay to like ask for help. Like I said, it's okay like not to be okay, and like you'd be surprised at like how many people are willing to help you when, like, especially when you're kind of like feeling alone, you know, like, and your mind will tell you that like there's something wrong with you and that you are alone and nobody cares and nobody wants to talk about this. You're kind of like the downer in the room, but it's like, you know, everyone's going through something, and you'd be surprised at who's there for you, you know?
From someone that has 1 million subscribers, had all the views, had all the attention, you know, that's not it. Just to put it short, it's really not. Life is about family, friends, going places, taking pictures in the moment, not trying to do dumb shit online for clout or just selling yourself online to make money and make a living from the online scene. Find your friends that you can trust and that you know that are there for you. Stay close to your family and just enjoy the online scene from afar. If you want to be a part of it, know that it's not the world and it's not everything, but it's fun. Just be careful.
What do you have to say? I'm curious about you.
What I have to say about social media mental health?
Yeah.
I feel like it can be very negative for the consumer and the creator. And as content creators, so much of our processing power goes into obsessively looking at the numbers and comparing ourselves to other creators and judging our success by how well one video does. And I feel like it's just bad for your mental health and bad for your brain. And it's also bad for the consumer out there that's watching us, thinking that if they could just hang out around us or if they could be in our shoes, they'd be so happy, when in reality they would get here and it would just be another stepping stone. And you know, the grass is always greener, and you might be a lot happier living a simple life completely offline.
At the end of the day, everything does get better. In that moment, you feel like it's the end of the world, the worst thing that ever could have happened to you. The times in my life where I thought were the worst times of my life ended up being the biggest blessings. And I hate the word blessing. I never use it, but I'm using it because getting dumped when I was 21 got me to move to LA when I was 22. And now I'm doing what I love to do. Struggling still, but doing the only thing I'd want to be doing in my whole life. So those moments where it's truly the worst and you want to end it all is you look back 6 months and you go, oh shit, that was the turning point. That was dope. Good thing I got dumped. Like, it was a huge blessing. So just take those moments when you're feeling hella bad and just smile through it and be like, okay, this for some reason this is gonna help me. This is part of it.
We're using these lows to ride through, gain momentum to higher highs.
Yeah. It's that roller coaster method, baby. Roller coaster.
Hell yeah.
I've always like known that I don't want to be doing YouTube forever, and the reason is because